back in 2018, the Trump administration made the decision to reorganize the National Security Council, which actually included the Global Health Security and Biodefense Unit. This was a unit that was basically put together by the Obama administration back in 2015 in order to ensure that our government, our country, would be ready for a pandemic. This was essentially in response to the Ebola outbreak. And in May of 2018, the Global Health Security and Biodefense Unit was disbanded, and its head, Timothy Ziemer, top White House official in the NSC for leading U.S. response against a pandemic, left the Trump administration. Now, some members of the Global Health and Security team were merged into other units within the National Security Council. But understand that that agency, that group that was meant to respond to pandemics, was in fact disbanded back in 2018. Also, Trump claimed that he had essentially conquered the coronavirus as early as February 28th. As we all know, the situation only got worse from there. But here he is commenting on the coronavirus in the United States.
One of my people came up to me and said, "Mr. President, they tried to beat you on Russia, Russia, Russia. That didn't work out too well. They couldn't do it. They tried the impeachment hoax. That was on a perfect conversation. They tried anything. They tried it over and over. They've been doing it since you got in. It's all turning. They lost. It's all turning. Think of it. Think of it. And this is their new hoax. But, you know, we did something that's been pretty amazing. We're 15 people in this massive country. And because of the fact that we went early, we could have had a lot more than that. We're doing great. Our country is doing so great.
Now, that was his comment on February 28th. As of today, over 90,000 people have already contracted the coronavirus, and more than 1.5 million, have died from the coronavirus. And more than 1.5 million have contracted the virus. So the situation was not conquered in February. It's absolutely ridiculous. He totally downplayed the severity of the pandemic. Trump also opted for the United States to develop and use its own coronavirus testing, as opposed to talking to the World Health Organization and using the testing that they already had for the virus. I want to be clear on one thing. The World Health Organization doesn't go country to country offering tests. But the tests were available and countries could request them or ask for them. Trump opted not to do that. The U.S. did not use COVID-19 diagnostic tests produced by the World Health Organization in favor of producing its own. And we all know how that worked out. We still have a lack of widespread testing throughout this country. Now, Cenk, we have more. That was only the third thing that Trump did wrong. I have 9 things on this list, but I want to give you an opportunity to jump in real quick.
Yeah, look, he's completely unprepared. He only cares about himself and his politics. So one example is this letter that we started with. He said in the letter the wrong date about the Lancet study. So why would you do that? Why? Like, it's not, he's not speaking off the cuff. They wrote it down. It's because there's a culture of incompetence and laziness at the White House. The president doesn't write his own letters. His staff wrote that letter. They put an obvious, massive mistake in the letter that would be caught in the first second, and no one bothered to double check because they don't give a damn about the facts. They don't care about being prepared. They think being prepared is for betas. They think people who care about facts and getting things right. Those guys are losers, man. And we just write down stupid stuff and then we just get caught. It doesn't matter. We just blame other people. So as Anna's reading this exhaustive list, I don't know if we have time to read it all for you guys. Meanwhile, they're blaming the World Health Organization for not being accurate enough. That's an obvious joke. And if you don't understand that's just political propaganda, I feel sad for you because you've been totally brainwashed and you believe things that aren't remotely true.
Exactly. And, you know, one of the biggest issues in response to this pandemic has been our lack of medical supplies. And Trump was actually shipping out desperately needed medical supplies, including respirator masks and other masks, to China around February 7th. In fact, Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, bragged about it on Twitter, writing, "We have coordinated with U.S. organizations to transport more humanitarian relief to people in Wuhan. Personal protective equipment and other medical supplies donated by these organizations can help save lives in China and help protect people from the coronavirus." Now, later, when it became clear that we had devastating shortages of these respirator masks and other medical supplies, the Trump administration decided to basically stop shipments of these supplies to other countries. Like, they would intercept the shipments and have the supplies sent back to the United States, or just completely sent from wherever they were supposed to go to the United States, which of course angered countries that have ordered these supplies, and they were a little more prepared and a little more ready for this pandemic than Trump was. By the way, Trump did not replenish the national stockpile of medical supplies. And Jared Kushner went up on stage during a press conference and told governors that the federal government is not responsible for supporting them with these stockpiles. So that was another mistake that was made. Trump also lagged on invoking the Defense Production Act to produce desperately needed medical supplies. On April 2nd, he finally did do it. There was a lot of pressure for him to invoke the Defense Production Act to aid companies building ventilators for coronavirus patients to receive the supply of materials they need. Trump directed the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary to use his authority to help facilitate the supply of ventilators or ventilator materials. And then there was the fact that he promoted and continues to promote the unproven and dangerous drug hydroxychloroquine as treatment for coronavirus. He also fired a Health and Human Services official, Dr. Rick Bright, who refused to promote the use of hydroxychloroquine. And he also egged on anti-stay-at-home protesters who went against his own administration's guidelines on how to safely reopen states. Look, this isn't the most exhaustive list. There were other mistakes made that I haven't even included in this list. But for him to turn around and accuse the World Health Organization of incompetence or not getting all the facts right from the very beginning is rich, considering his endless stream of mistakes in response to this pandemic.
Yeah, look, we bring you as many facts as we could possibly bring you, and we give you context for it. So when he finally got to the Defense Production Act, it was months too late. That's why they're turning the ships around with the masks on them, because they thought, oh, we don't have to prepare, and this is not going to hit us that hard. He was 100% wrong on all of that, but we could have made the story shorter and easier. The guy said maybe we should inject ourselves with disinfectant to cure the disease. Really? You're criticizing anyone else's facts on coronavirus? No, just be honest. Say, I don't like the World Health Organization anyway, because that means I cooperate with other people in the world, and I hate that. I'm a xenophobe. Plus, I want to blame my problems on them and China. So I'm doing this demagogue. At least I respect you for the honesty. But to try to pretend that you were right on the facts of coronavirus more than the World Health Organization is a sick, sick joke.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.